Okay, lots of folks had questions about this one. Number of red and gray bricks are used to build a decorative wall. The number of red bricks and gray bricks was 5 to 2. So you could say if there was actually, if the number of red bricks was actually 5 and the number of gray bricks was actually 2, that would make that ratio of 5 to 2, but that would say that would only take 7 bricks. There would only be 7 bricks that were used. So maybe this was a simplified fraction. If it was 10 fourths, that would simplify to 5 over 2, and it would be 14 bricks that were used. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this. But you don't know what they canceled out. Here you could cancel out top and bottom. You could divide by 2. So if you wanted to find out how many there really were, you would take the simplified 5/2 ratio and you would have to multiply top and bottom by 2. We don't know what they canceled, so we don't know what we need to multiply them by, so we're going to call them 5x and 2x. That fraction would simplify down to 5 over 2 if you canceled out the x's, right? But then we can use that to find out how many of each there were, because we can say 5x red bricks plus 2x gray bricks needs to equal the total number of bricks that they said were used, and that was 224. Now all you have to do is combine like terms and divide by the coefficient. And you find the value of x, and doing that math, we can do it over here on the side. Is 32. Now, fun fact, that's not actually a number of bricks. That's the value of x, and you need to put it back in. So I'll show you that in a second. So what we need to do now is we need to find out what's the actual number of each kind of brick. Or actually, let's just read what they're telling us up top, because I think that they're asking for a specific piece of information. And what they say is, yep, how many red bricks were used. So we know that the red bricks were the 5 times x. 5x red bricks, or 5 times 32. But let's just do something to check. Let's say, okay, then there were 2x gray bricks, or 2 times 32. That means that there were 64 gray bricks, supposedly. So then let's check and see, does that actually add up to the 224 bricks? 160 plus 64. Yes, it does. So we know that that's the correct x value, but very specifically for the answer, we know that 5 times that number x was 160, the amount, the number of red bricks, and that's B, and that's the answer. Okay, just like these other problems, we're essentially saying the two numbers simplified to 1 to 5. Okay, so before they simplified, they were like 1x over 5x, and then we said, okay, let's divide top and bottom by x to simplify them down to 1 over 5. Well, what was that x that we divided by? That's what we want to find out. So we then take their original angle measures, and how do we know what their original angle measures are? They are here and here. Okay, their original angle measures were 1x, or x, plus 5x, and what did they add up to? They added up to their complementary, not supplementary 180, but complementary 90. So we then say 6x equals 90, Divide both top and bottom by 6. And we get x equals 15. That's what x equals. So then the two angles are 1 times 15 and 5 times 15, or 15 and 75. You can verify those numbers as actually having a ratio of 1 to 5 and also adding up to 90. So 15 and 75, which is B. Okay, this is an interesting one because um, it's, it's so slightly different than the other ones that it's easy for the idea of it to slip by. But here's the idea. If you have a perimeter, let me draw it out for you. If you have a perimeter with a length of 3, width of 1, we don't know what it actually, the numbers that simplified were 3x and 1x. We don't know what we divided them by to become 3 to 1 as a simplified ratio. Okay, but the perimeter actually adds up the entire length all the way around. So if the left-hand side is 3x, then the right-hand side is also 3x, and the top, just like the bottom, is also 1x. We can also just call it x, and maybe I should because I don't want to get in the habit of you seeing 1x and thinking we should be writing that. We should be writing x. Okay, but then the idea is for the perimeter, we've got to add those all up. So what is 3x plus x plus 3x plus x? Hopefully you can see that that is 8x. And what does the perimeter equal? 136 feet. So if we divide both sides by 8 to solve for x, we get x equals, and we need to do 136 divided by 8. I'm going to do it down here on the bottom. 136 divided by 8. It goes into 56 7 times. So x equals 17 feet. Now, they want to know what its length is. The length was the 3x side, right? Length to width. If you look at it, it says length to width would be 3 to 1. And you can see that we need to multiply that x value that we got, 17 feet, by 3 to stand for the length. So going back, we say, okay, then 3x, or 3 times 17, gives you 51 feet. And that is your answer. All right, just like the rest of these, we are setting the ratio, the extended ratio in this case, as all of those values, 1 multiplied by x. 1x, since it's a 1 to 3 to 8 ratio, it's 1x to 3x to 8x. And what are we doing with those? We're adding them all together and setting them equal to what we know to be the total number of, in this case, cups of salsa is 24 cups. So what we're trying to do is then combine them all. We get 12x equals 24 cups. And dividing both sides by 12, we get x is equal to 2 cups. So we know that if we wanted to take that original extended ratio of 1x to 3x to 8x, 1x to 3x to 8x, which when you divide all those values by x, you get 1 to 3 to 8. They're looking for the how many cups of onions. So let's take a look up top. It says green peppers, then onion in the middle, then tomato, right? So that middle number 3 is the one that we want to use to find the number of cups of onions. So we take 3x and we say that's actually 3 times, what can we sub in there? Whatever x was, and the x was 2 cups. So what do we get then? We get 6 cups of onions. That is your answer, so B. Okay, again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say it's got an extended ratio of 2 to 3 to 4, or 2x to 3x to 4x before we simplify it, and then we divided all of those by x to simplify it down to 2 to 3 to 4. What is that 2x to 3x to 4x? Well, we know what they equal. It says it's the angles of a triangle, and we know that triangles add up to 180. So we can take these three measures, 2x, 3x, and 4x, and we can add them together to equal, what is triangles angles equal? Equals 180. And of course, 2x plus 3x plus 4x is 9x equals 180. And so 9x divided by 9 equals 180 divided by 9, or x equals 20. Now notice, because none of those angles had a value of x, none of the angles actually measure 20. We've got 2x, or 2 times 20, 3x, or 3 times 20, and 4x, or 4 times 20, to find the 4 angles, or 3 angles rather. But what are they asking for? They're asking for the smallest one, so it should be 2x, right? We're going to say, okay, then 2x is equal to 2 times the value of x, which is 20, or 2 times 20 is 40, and it's an angle, so it's 40 degrees, and that is our answer. 40 degrees, or A.